We wish to acknowledge that the University of Virginia, wait, can you guys see it okay? Or do I need to enlarge my screen? Is that good? Okay. We wish to acknowledge that the University of Virginia sits on the homeland of the Monacan Nation, whose members remain a vital part of the local community, and that UVA's original structures were built and maintained by enslaved laborers. We further wish to acknowledge the history of violence, displacement, and racism that led to UVA's establishment and maintenance. It is important for us as the university community to reflect and address the complicated past and present of our university during our time here as students. Special thanks to the Native American Student Union at UVA and the Multicultural Student Services for helping to write this acknowledgement. I'll also be dropping in the chat a website that allows you to check what natal plan you currently occupy.
Thank you. All right, welcome everybody to GenBod. My name is Abel. I use he, him pronouns. I'm a third year. I'm studying economics and sociology in the college. And I'm the current president of Student Council. I apologize for any background noise. I live downstairs next to the kitchen and I have a puppy. So I just wanted to say happy Ramadan to always celebrate. I forgot to mention it last week in the excitement of the transition. We are supporting, as Student Council, a community iftar event put on by Muslims United on Friday. And I just wanted to send the link to the event. I'll go, so hopefully I'll see you there. I also quickly want to issue a content warning because myself and a few other members of exec will speak on the Chauvin verdict. So if anybody feels like they would like to or need to leave, please feel free to. And you can come back later if you want to, but no worries if you don't. So while I am glad that a verdict has been reached, and I hope it brings peace to George Floyd's family, I'm mindful that justice has not been served. A Black man and father was still brutally murdered at the hands of the police. In this instance, the carceral state has saved itself by offering Chauvin as a sacrifice and concession to create an illusion of a healthy and just system. Scores of police officers continue to walk free from murder trials and some similar in nature, and there's no end of this phenomena in sight under the carceral state. On our part, as the student government at UVA, I'll take this moment to recommit to negotiating divestment from the University Police Department by eliminating the use of police in nonviolent crises or cases at the university, and instead directing the savings from suspending those operations to counseling and psychological services. This is in line with the Black Student Alliance's historic yet unmet demand for the demilitarization and divestment from UPD. So I am working with not just the Black Student Alliance on this project, but also with UNDOC UVA and their fight to build a sanctuary campus, housing and residential life, as well as the Equity Center. So we do hope to remove police from nonviolent cases in lieu of trained mental health and medical professionals within the next academic year. Currently working on a memorandum of understanding, policy proposal, and grant writing. So definitely stay tuned on that project. In other news, tomorrow I'm meeting with Gabby, the chair of the rep body, the UVA UNPAC group, as well as a few other representatives to talk about building shared student power around the For the People Act. We are in particular working with Sekoum from the Minority Rights Coalition, as well as UVA UNPAC, to create a coalition of student government presidents across Virginia. And we'll pass legislation across all Virginia student governments and use this student power to lobby our Virginia senators to exercise their own lobbying power in favor of the For the People Act. I also wanted to plug the sign-up link for the Whispering Wall listening session tomorrow. If you speak in favor of removal of the Whispering Wall, please be sure to credit the Minority Rights Coalition and talk to Gabby about the way to do that, most respectfully, because she has been in touch with the Minority Rights Coalition, or MRC, on that issue. Applications for the director of the Textbook Access Office, which is a which will help run textbook mutual aid and collection networks, directly purchase used textbooks with a $10,000 grant, and set up a permanent textbook loaner library is out, as well as applications for the Director of Graduate Affairs and soon the new Rules and Ethics Board. So we'll send those applications later this week to both the Slack and on our social media. So please plug these opportunities to your equity and empowerment minded friends. We have a lot more cooking, including funding opportunities to begin paying FGLI students for their administrative labor at the university. But I'll end my updates for now, and I am so excited to work with you all this year.
Hello, I'm Cece, she, her. I am the VPA. So I'll start with my updates being that a reminder that your budget request forms are due tomorrow at 5 p.m. If you have any questions, concerns, please feel free to Slack message myself or Jaden Evans about that. As well as saying that we are finalizing this round of general membership placements tomorrow. So stay tuned for updates on that tomorrow night and Thursday morning, as we're sending out acceptances and rejections for everyone's committees, agencies. Very exciting. We're getting some Gen Bod members. I also just wanted to comment on the verdict today. So I am feeling a lot of things. So I wrote down a couple of things so I wouldn't forget things I wanted to say. So bear with me, I will try to keep it fairly short, but as I'm sure many in our community are, I'm feeling very conflicting ways right now. Momentary relief is certainly one of them, but it's fleeting, and replacing it is a horrendous amount of fear that this will satisfy people and drive them back into complacency and a false feeling of justice. The need to humanize a man to the extent that they did in the trial to remind people that he was a father, a community member, and a son in order for the state to finally condemn the murder of a Black person by police is not justice, no matter what our legal system calls it. This doesn't remove the generations of fear, pain, and trauma that we all know too well, and that these things will happen again and again and are currently happening. This is an outlier, a concession by the state, and this is the first time that a cop has been convicted of murder in this country, which, not for nothing, is a remarkable legal precedent and a momentary win that we should acknowledge and celebrate as well. But there are many names that deserve justice and the same amount of attention as George Floyd, one of them being our community member, Xavier Hill. He was 18 years old when he was murdered by a state trooper in January on I-64 on his way back to Charlottesville. This is another instance of a Black man's life being criminalized when doing things as simple as walking or driving. The officer who murdered him was acquitted, but his family is fighting to get the case reopened currently. To do this full time, his mom has quit her job and is asking a few very simple things of us. Right now, take out your phones and go follow @Justice for Xavier Hill on Instagram and Twitter. I'm gonna drop it in the chat. Scroll down to the IGTV video from Dogwood News when you have a moment and repost it today and as often as possible with the hashtag Justice for Xavier Hill. Visit the website, which I'm going to momentarily drop in the chat for Xavier Hill, where you can sign petitions and donate to the campaign. I'll also drop his mom's Cash App and Venmo in the chat as she's requesting personal financial support as well in order to be able to spend all of her time focusing on getting justice for her son. To find out more about local efforts, visit @UVA Beyond Policing and Seville Beyond Policing on Twitter and Instagram, and continue to repost things that they're posting and attend events, sign petitions that they're posting, etc. I just want to end by saying, please take care of yourselves tonight, no matter what feelings this brings up for you. And it's my sincerest hope that Mr. Floyd is resting in peace and in power tonight. Again, momentarily, I'm going to drop all the resources I just mentioned in the chat, and I'm also going to include them in our newsletter. So if you don't remember any of that, look out for it there. And please continue reposting the hashtag Justice for Xavier Hill. That's all from me.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Brian. I use he, him as pronouns. I'm the Vice President for Organizations. I just have some updates about some things going on in the org branch. First thing is that we've decided on most of our director and deputy director roles, and we are holding virtual office hours. There's a link on the STUDCO website to that. If you have any questions or concerns about the org branch, its processes, or if you just like to talk about that, feel free to sign up. We will also be putting out an application for the director of the Equity and Incentives Ad Hoc Committee. We still have to create the bill to actually make that a committee, but that's going to be a committee that's really involved in a lot of the more transformative policies. So I guess just be on the lookout for that. With regard to appropriations, we finished that last roundup, and I'll kind of go into this a little bit more in committee reports. But the allocations are posted on at UVA, and the purchase requests are due by May 7th at 11:59 p.m. We've also started our audits we went with 8 random orgs, and we're also trying to audit Studco. We're almost finished up with the organization's recognition process for 7 CIOs that still have to be approved. So most likely I'm going to be introducing 2 bills, one next meeting and then one the meeting after, to get those all approved before the end of the year. And then we will be potentially updating the CIO handbook soon. I still kind of have to look it over, but I will be keeping everyone posted on that as well. And that's all I had.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ryan Alcorn. I am a 3rd year. Oh, sorry. No, this is Gabby's turn. Go ahead, Gabby.
No, you're fine. Hi, everybody. My name is Gabby Hernandez. I am the chair of the representative body. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a 2nd year major in global development studies and archaeology. And I'm currently, so just a quick update for me, I'm currently in the process of getting all the representatives oriented, and also meeting with them one-on-one to establish short-term and long-term projects for this upcoming year. And then additionally, as Abel mentioned, if you are going to speak tomorrow at the Whispering Wall session, please reach out to me because I have been in contact with Sekum from MRC to properly credit the work that they've been doing. So that's just a quick update from me. You can go now, Ryan.
Cool. Sorry about that. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Alcorn. I use he, him pronouns. I'm a 3rd year in the college studying foreign affairs, and I'm an incoming Batten MPP, and I'm the chief of cabinet. So a few updates for me today. We're very excited that the leadership team is set. Directors have submitted their bids for returning members, and those general members will begin to join teams later in the week. Also, I wanted to touch a little bit on our policy agenda. The agenda is set. We're very excited about it. We're working to accomplish a number of ambitious policy goals, from providing open educational resources, creating an arts and political education fund, implementing community training for all service organizations, advocating for a prayer space at O-Hill Dining Hall, lowering the cost of laundry, textbooks, and supplies, supporting international students with their visas and flights, ending exams on election day, providing free STI testing, ending the university's contract with Aramark, and lobbying for fossil fuel divestment, among many other efforts. Feel free to reach out to me or any of the agency directors for questions about this. Really excited to be working with this team. Thank you.
Awesome. Hey, everyone. My name is Maheen Sanchez. I use he and pronouns. I'm a 3rd year currently studying government and incoming Batten MPP, and very proud to join the team and help represent the important access services branch as the chief of that. We'll be talking in a couple minutes, introducing the directors, so please approve them. They're really incredible and really happy to be here.
Hello, everyone. My name is Becker Johnson. I am a 2nd year in the college majoring in English and government, and I use he, him, his pronouns. I don't have any official updates, but I would like to say that I am very excited to get started with just the work that we have in store and getting to build connections across campus. I did want to say something about the conviction today, but I don't really want to give a speech because I'm not really in the mental space to do that right now. But I do just wish everyone as much peace as they can find in the moment right now, and to also just recognize that this really is not the end of anything. It's just a step. It's just a starting. It's just the start, yeah. And that there's a lot of work in organization that still needs to be done. I also want to let others know that I'm here and that we're all here for support if you need that. So please do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Macy. I first just want to reiterate everything that's been said about the Chauvin trial. It's been some great statements that were made here today so far. and some great resources that are linked in the chat. So please do check those out. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a third year. I'm a media studies and American studies major and director of university relations. And I'm happy I could actually be here at this meeting. It's great to kind of see some faces and be in attendance today. So I had 2 quick updates for the leadership team. Our end of semester newsletter is going out April 29th. So please just make sure that you have all updates made on that Google Doc that I shared this morning on that document by Tuesday, the 27th. And I'll Slack reminders just so you don't forget. And then the last update is to any cabinet directors who still need to send me their headshots. You can just Slack those to me. Any preferred image you have, preferably from the waist up, would be perfect, but anything you have will work. And I also extend that headshot ask to any directors and branches except for rep body, and representatives too can send those headshots. So please just Slack me if you have any questions. Slack me with your pictures. Just Slack me. Thank you.
Fantastic. I've moved outside. I think it will placate the dog, Chip. In any case, let's move on to leadership reports, starting with the cabinet. And Ryan, do we have any cabinet updates today?
No updates today, just getting set.
Fantastic. All right, and then we'll move into intros from the support and access services. Maheen, go ahead.
So I'm going to name the position, and if the directors for each position could use the raise hand function, so that way they can be unmuted. We'll start with the Accommodations Access Fund.
Hello, I'm Lydia. I'm a first year. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the incoming director of the Accommodations and Access Fund. It's really nice to meet you all.
Up next, the co-directors for the Aetna Insurance Support Fund.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Abdul Ali. I am a first year and I'm majoring in global public health and mathematics. And I am an incoming co-director of the Aetna Insurance Support Fund. Nice to see you all.
Hi, everyone. I'm the other co-director. I'm Emily. I'm a major in cognitive science and I'm a second year. I use she, her pronouns. Definitely reach out to us if you have any ideas for the fund or if you just want to talk about anything. We're here.
Great. Next, the director of Airbus and the International Student Summer Storage Service.
Hi everyone, my name is Tony. I'm a third year econ student. I use she, her pronouns. Yeah, I'm an incoming managing director of the Airbus and the International Summer Storage. We are thinking of coming up with a new name for the International Summer Storage, and I have no idea. So if anyone has a better idea for the name, please let me know. And yeah.
Awesome, thank you. The Community Food Pantry.
Hi, everyone. My name's Jennifer. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a third year majoring in marketing and accounting, and I'm going to be continuing as the director of the UVA Community Food Pantry.
Awesome, thank you. The Next Steps Fund.
Could you put your hand up if you want us to call on you?
Student Legal Services.
Hey guys, I'm Zolna. I'm a first year in the College of Arts and Sciences, and I'm the incoming director of Student Legal Services.
And lastly, UVA Mutual Aid.
Hello, I'm Rachel Heitman, she, her pronouns. I'm the returning director of UVA Mutual Aid. I'm a third year studying government. I am very excited to be a part of this new branch of Student Council and this administration. So if you have any ideas for mutual aid, definitely reach out, or if you want to collaborate across committees, please reach out for sure.
Already incredibly proud and excited about this team and can't wait to work with them.
Okay, thank you, Maheen. Cece, does the admin branch have any updates? All right, Ryan Chislakowski, does the org branch have any updates?
Yes, just one quick update about appropriations. Unfortunately, Shravani couldn't make it, but I will just do the update real quick. So as I mentioned in my my exec intro, we just finished up our last funding round for the semester and for the school year. Overall, we received requests for about $90,000 worth of funds, and we approved about $80,000 worth of funds, and that was all allocated. So yeah, those are just some of the basic numbers. And again, as I said, purchase requests are due by May 7th at 11:59 for any CIOs that received an allocation. And that's all. Thank you.
Fantastic. Now that we're done with leadership reports, we will move in. We would usually move into, actually representative reports. But Gabby, do you think reps have anything they'd like to share this week? I know you guys are also just getting started. Yeah. Okay, then we'll move into public comment. We do not have any public comments for today, which means we will move into our legislative session. So Gabby, I'll hand things off to you.
Thank you, Abel. We will now enter legislative session. I will begin by calling roll. So when I call your name, please raise your hand. Violet Cadet. Okay. Nina Santana. Thank you. Please put your hand down. Lillian Rojas. Thank you. Laura Aref. Thank you. Tyler Bush. Thank you. Noah Strike. Thank you. Tashara Robertson. Thank you. Christian Ephraim. Thank you. Ella Tinch. Thank you. Adrian Mommerl. Thank you. Jay Moody. Okay, thank you. Ritika Kormath Ond. Sarah Kirk. Thank you. Joshua Franklin. Thank you. Rand Perry. Thank you. Alex Sheng. Jason Evans. Thank you. Isa Fortuno. Thank you. Elizabeth Cruz. Thank you. And Raphael Movsezian. Okay. The roll has been called. We will now entertain our minutes from the previous session. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns about the last session's minutes?
I can't do the raise my hand function, but my hand's up.
Abel?
Thank you, Gabby. All right, I have a few different concerns. I would like to pass them all under one package, if you will, under one motion. So I will just go through one by one. The first edit is that under the executive board updates, instead of referring to the VPO Ryan Cheslakowski as Ryan, I would love to have his last name Cheslakowski added to that line. Under the introduction for the cabinet, the International Student Affairs Director Avni Garg is referred to as Anvi Garg. So I'd like to change her, the spelling of her name to AVNI. Similarly, under the Board of Audit and Management introduction, Ashley Saxenian's last name is spelled incorrectly, so it should be spelled Saxenian. And then finally, or not finally, second to last, the bill commentary and discussion under SB 21-26 should actually go under SB 21-31. And then now finally, in the community concerns discussion between myself and Representative Noah Strike, at one point, I'm quoted as using the word trade. I think that word should probably be share. Those are all of my updates. And so I move to amend the minutes as discussed.
I would look favorably upon a motion to vote, or upon a motion to amend, to adopt the amendment. Ella. Can somebody unmute Ella, or do I have to do that?
I motion to vote on adopting the amendments.
Tashara?
Second.
Are there any objections to the amendment? If you have any objections, just please click your red X button. Seeing none, the motion carries and the amendment is passed. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns about the now amended minutes? Okay. I would look favorably upon a motion to vote. Adrian?
Motion to vote.
Violet?
Seconded.
Are there any objections? If you have any objections, just please click your red X button. Okay, seeing none, the minutes pass. Okay, I would now look favorably upon a motion to take SB 21-31 off the table. Jason?
Motion to remove the bill off the table, please.
Tashara?
Second.
Are there any objections? If you have any objections, please click your red X button. Okay. If there are no objection, the motion carries. SB 21-31 is moved off the table, and I will now entertain able to speak on this legislation.
Thank you, Gabby. I spoke at length on this bylaw bill last week. I'll just reiterate that it sets up the support and access services as its own section under the president, much like the cabinet, and separates the article that previously lumped the support and access services together with advisory boards. As a final note, we will still pursue a bylaw replacement bill since there are many, many more changes that need to be made to the bylaws as a result of the amendments that were passed, but these were mission critical to get our full team up and running before the summer. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them now.
Okay, are there any comments, questions, or concerns about this bill? Okay, seeing none, I would look favorably upon a motion to pass. Jason?
Motion to pass.
Ella?
Seconded.
Thank you. We will now vote on the bill. All of those in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you. You may put your hands down. those opposed? And all of those abstaining, please raise your hands. Okay, thank you. SB 21-31 passes. I will now entertain SB 21-32, a bill to approve an appointment to the President's Cabinet, and I'll entertain able to speak on this legislation.
Thank you. We are asking to move the previous co-director of financial accessibility, Aman, to diversity engagement. I think that she will be a fantastic director of diversity engagement. I genuinely could not imagine a better candidate. So I'm very excited to have you all consider her for this position. And I am more excited to work with her on a lot of very exciting projects and lobbying efforts over the next year.
Thank you. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns about this bill? Okay, seeing none, I'd look favorably upon a motion to vote. Ella?
Motion to vote.
Sarah?
Seconded.
We will now vote on this bill. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Please keep your hands raised. Okay. Okay, you may put your hands down. All of those opposed, please raise your hands. Thank you. And all of those abstaining, please raise your hands. Okay, SB 21-32 passes. I will now entertain SB 21-33, a bill to approve appointments to the President's Support and Access Services, and I'll entertain able to speak on the legislation.
Thanks again, Gabby. So you just had quick intros to all of the directors for the Support and Access Services earlier in the meeting. I highly recommend all of the proposed appointments. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, definitely raise them now. But this is a really strong team to lead the inaugural Support and Access Services branch with Maheen's leadership, as well as the leadership of returning directors like Jennifer and Rachel.
Thank you. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns? Adrian.
Motion to vote.
Tashara.
Second.
We will now vote. All of those in favor, please raise your hands. Okay, you may put your hands down. Just gonna wait a second for everybody to put their hands down. Okay, thank you. All of those opposed, please raise your hands. Thank you. And all of those abstaining, please raise your hands. Thank you. SB 21-33 passes. I will now entertain SB 21-34, a bill to amend the bylaws with regards to the Director of Outreach, and I'll entertain able to speak on this legislation.
Hi, everybody. Sorry to be monopolizing the legislative session, but this is a bylaw bill, so we'll just table it for this week. But the idea is basically to change the name of the Director of Outreach to the Director of Coalition Engagement, which implies the action-oriented and student power bend we want to give that outreach position. The goal will still be to build relationships, trust, and buy-in across groups that have historically not trusted student council or have been actively marginalized by our institution. But I think the new name definitely indicates the way that Booker intends to change the role. And I'll yield the rest of my time to Cece in case she has anything she wants to add.
Yeah, I don't have too much to add other than I agree this encompasses Booker's role well, and he also chose the name, so I'm very excited for him to get to embody it, and yay, name changes. All right, thank you.
Okay, are there any comments, questions, or concerns? Jason?
Motion to table.
Is there a second? Adrian?
Second.
Okay. Are there any objections? If you have any objections, just please click your red X. Okay, seeing none, the bill is tabled. I will now read the vote count from our current session. SB 21-31 passed with 15 yeas, 0 nays, and 0 abstentions. SB 21-32 passed with 15 yeas, 0 nays, and 0 abstentions. SB 21-33 passed with 14 yeas, 0 nays, and 0 abstentions. And SB 21-34 was tabled. And we will now exit legislative session.
Gabby, you nailed it. That was fantastic. Congratulations. We're now going to move into our community concerns portion of the meeting. This is a chance for any member of the student body, including directors, to submit concerns to the student council general body, but especially student council representatives. However, if no, general members of the public, or directors have concerns for representatives, this is also a time for you to discuss concerns with me or the Chief of Cabinet, Ryan Alcorn, Support and Access Services, Chief of Support and Access Services, Maheen, Ryan Cheslakowski, and in the org branch, right? So you have everybody's attention. This is the time to raise any concerns that you have. I will just note that the concern raised last time about the digital recontextualization decision from the Board of Visitors is something that might be addressed first by conversations with stakeholders, and then also followed up by a resolution. So if you want better sessions that are not just me speaking to you, I encourage you to work with your colleagues and external groups to write that resolution. But are there any concerns of the week? Ella.
Hey, everybody. So over the weekend, there was some talk of issues with quarantine, students in quarantine and not getting consistent food deliveries, not getting enough food deliveries. And a problem that we've seen throughout the semester is students with allergens or religious dietary restrictions are not getting foods that they can eat. This is something that YDSA has addressed through mutual aid. But right now we don't have a lot of information on what percentage of students are experiencing this, which students are, if it's a particular quarantine location, and where we should really target our work on this. Ryan, I've talked to Ryan and I've talked to Abel, and both of you have given me some helpful information. But essentially, if anybody would like to work with me on this, that would be very helpful, because at this point, I think it would be really helpful, like Ryan mentioned, to, or this was Ryan's idea, but to collect some data on actual quarantine experiences and then how many people experienced like food shortages, things like that. So if you're interested in that, please contact me. And also if you have any information, if you were in quarantine, if your friends were in quarantine, please also contact me because it's those individual people that have been really helpful to finding out information. So that's long-term. I want to collect data. If anybody's interested in that, or if it's your committee that would help with that, please let me know. And then also short-term, if you know people or have the ability to solicit, people that may need immediate food assistance, YDSA can help with that. So please let me know, because we have food and we have resources and we can bring it to people. So yeah, please let me know. Publicize that there are resources available and let me know if people need it. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ella. I'll put you in touch with Nicole Aramo and Julie Caruccio this evening as well. Are there any other concerns? I will share my frustration with the Google Maps feature being taken off of our Virginia accounts. That's caused me a larger headache than, yeah, what's up with that? Any other concerns? Okay, well, I'm glad UVA is doing so well this week. I'll make sure to tell admin. Have a great rest of your Tuesday evening, and we'll see you next week.